Wilcox County, the Patriots down in Rochelle, led by Rob Stowe in his fifth season now. Coach, I want to say something about Wilcox County. There was a great run there with Coach Ledford back several years ago. They won a state championship in 2009, a great 6-year run. And then there was a 6-year drop-off where the program just fell off, and it was like, well, what happened to Wilcox County? And now you've been there for 5 years. You're 37-14 over your tenure there, and you've gotten that program back on track. You must be proud of that. But how has that evolution and that improvement kind of happened in your view?
Well, I appreciate it, Bill. But, there's a lot of people that are involved in this, a lot of great assistant coaches, good players. That's the big thing. Don't like Kirby Smart says, you can't out-scheme players, you got to have players for sure. But I'd say probably the biggest thing that I hope that we've been able to accomplish is you got to establish a culture of hard work and accountability. And I feel like through the 5 years of the program, we've had men that have bought into that idea, and they pass that on to the next team. And we talk a lot about, tradition never graduates, man down, man up. And then when it's your time to play, you get a chance to put that WC on and go represent. So I think probably, great players, good assistant coaches, and then having a culture of hard work probably is the best thing. It gives you a recipe for success.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. Well, it's been a fun couple of years with 2 straight region titles and a very good year last year when you finished 8th in the state. Let's talk about your defense. You gave up a lot of points last year, even with that successful season, but you've got a lot of starters back, and you feel good about your defensive line, right? Could that be the center point to make some improvement there on that side of the ball?
Exactly. We played a lot of sophomores last year that rightfully probably should have been playing on Thursdays, JV games, but they had to play on Friday night because that's all we had.
Yeah.
And I think it's made them a better player because they had to play in so many big games against quality opponents. Yeah. Another year in the weight room has paid off tremendously. So we're going to return 4 guys and a couple key backups on the defensive line that all played a lot of football last year. So we feel like that's going to be the focal point of our defense. If we can play good up front, we can definitely help in the back end where we maybe have a couple new starters. But, a good pass rush will definitely help cover up some deficiencies in the secondary for sure.
All right, we'll see improvement on that side of the ball, and the offense was really good last year. We'll talk with Coach Stowe about that offense in our next report. Back with Coach Rob Stowe from Wilcox County. The Patriots trying to improve on a very good season last year. They lost to Sly County in the playoffs. But let's talk about the offense now. You had a 3-year run for the quarterback that you're having to replace, and it sounded like a junior who's a pitcher on your baseball team could be the leading candidate. Tell me about him.
Yeah, we have lost a key quarterback the last 3 years, that knew the offense left, right, inside out, could make some adjustments for us when it needed to happen. And we're calling on Johnny Nutt, who is a rising junior, and as you mentioned, is the 2-time Region 4 Pitcher of the Year.
Wow.
So he's got an arm, and we know he can sling that ball around. But what Johnny hasn't had to face just yet is, as we say, with the bullets coming after him, and a Friday night under the lights, and people are trying to actually hit you. We keep him in a blue jersey in practice so he doesn't get hit and not get injured, but that's going to come off on Friday nights. And we're cautiously optimistic about what Johnny brings to the table. We know he's got a lot of talent, and just can't wait to see it unfold. I know it's going to be probably exciting for him. We're going to have to calm him down, early on, but he's got all the talent in the world, and we have confidence in him as well to lead our football team.
Well, he's going to have a very good supporting cast, 8 starters back around him, including B.J. Gibson, the young man who is committed to FSU, very talented receiver, right, Rob?
Yeah, BJ is just as good of a player as I've been able to coach as far as what God gave him ability. Just twitchy, quick, plays the ball very well. He's a very high-class baseball player as well. He's possibly going to get drafted playing the outfield, so it carries over to the football field too as far as being able to go get balls. And we're going to have to try to figure out ways that we can do that as much as we can and be creative with that. If I was playing quarterback like Johnny, it is a safety blanket to know you got B.J. Gibson out there. And if you just throw it somewhere around him, he'll go get it.
Absolutely. Real quick, let's mention your 2 captains, Bobby Hilliard, the lineman, and Trey Coley, running back and linebacker. You're going to count on those 2 to provide your leadership this year, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm so proud of our football team. We allow our team to select their captains after the summer every year. And, man, they have hit home runs every year as far as getting guys that show quality leadership. And Boppy and Trey are two of those men that, know how to lead men and do it in a positive manner and first start by example. And then once they've walked the walk, then they can talk the talk. And, nobody's going to listen to somebody that doesn't do it themselves. And I'm so proud for our team for recognize what those guys do for us. And I expect great things for them. And they're going to, be able to possibly parlay that on to being able to play Saturdays as well.
That's great. That's outstanding. Well, the first game for the Patriots on the 18th at Lamar County. Rob, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing what your team does this year. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Bill. We appreciate what you do for high school football.